Hey, welcome back to the Confidence and Conversion Show. Today, I've got legendary coach Jeff Mays, who's going to help us move sellers from a place of uncertainty to certainty to get them off the fence and ultimately on the market. Welcome to the show, Jeff.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tom. This is amazing. Love this.
Yeah, man. So what are you finding to be the best dialogue to educate the seller to get him to take action?
You know, I think that we got to recognize that the Fed said a month ago, and this is the first time that they said this, they're going to raise rates 3 times this year. You saw that, didn't you?
Yep.
Okay, and this is the first time they put it in writing. Hey, guys, they're giving us a head start. They're basically saying they're going to do this in March and then maybe June and July and then October. And most people are foreseeing rates to be about 4% or higher at the end of the year. It's going to be a little different market. Still going to be a super strong market. So what we need to be saying right now, if I was you, I would be calling sellers and saying this kind of dialogue. Can I go through this with you real quick, Tom?
Please.
Here's the dialogue. You know, we want to start off with a question. You know, at some point, this is a service call. This is not a sales call. And you know that all sales start with a conversation, and we just want to get into a conversation with them. And at some point in this conversation, I would ask him, hey, Tom, did you see what the Feds announced in December? Did you see that?
Yeah, something about raising the rates 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, they said they're going to raise it 3 times. And, you know, the key here is if you're thinking of moving really this year or maybe even next year, let's get together and let's just talk about how these rate increases could affect the value of your home. Do you have time to get together? What does your week look like? How about Thursday or Friday?
Yeah, Thursday's good. I mean, we can do it via Zoom, face to face, whatever you want.
Yeah, why don't we hop on Zoom? I just want to, I think that rates are going to increase. They're saying they're going to increase. And what that happens to, why is that it's important to you as a seller is there's going to be a little bit less buyers out there, or they're not going to qualify for as much. So that it will at some point affect the value of your home. So if you're thinking of selling, let's just get together. Let's just talk about it and see whether that works in your plans and what you're planning to do in the next year.
Awesome. So I love that to get the appointment, even in a soft way. So then once you're there, what questions are you asking? What are you saying? What are you educating people on to get them off the fence if they're thinking about really selling? Again, can't convince someone who isn't motivated and educated.
Right. If they're not motivated, doesn't matter. You know that. So to me, I'm going to just be like, would it be like, if the value, I think that, values have gone up, in some areas, 10, 15, 20%. And what if it only goes up maybe 3 or 5%? Or, Tom, most agents, if they've been in the business less than 10 years, they've only known this type of market. We may see something like that, or hopefully not like that. I'm just preparing my agents and the agents that I coach of just, we're going to have different dialogue at the end of the year if rates do get around 4%. So I'm really going to focus in on their motivation, why they're doing this. Could we move up this process? A whole lot of the questions I would be asking around would be like timing. What would it look like if we got it under contract in the fall or in the summer before these rates really start to change and have effect on sellers?
Okay. So it's really about almost like not objections, but dealing with the conditions of, hey, what if it was sooner versus later?
Yep,
and
that's it.
Would
Moving
it
them
be
up.
worth it? Yeah. Would it be worth it to you? Could you navigate that? What would be the worst case scenario if you did? What would be the most likely scenario if you did? Is it that kind of dialogue?
Totally. And I think that, I've been rolling this out and talking to a lot of my clients and it's not going to happen here. We've been through this type of market where rates start to increase,
right,
and then it can be like a house of cards in some areas if you don't really know. I don't think it's going to happen in the first couple months, but I think maybe midway through the year, it's just having that dialogue with sellers, because maybe rates are going to flatten out, or maybe there won't be as many buyers making offers out there. It's just really talking it through with sellers.
So Jeff, I have 2 thoughts that go through my head for the person listening or watching right now. First is do your homework. Go back to October, right?
Totally.
Right. When the interest rates went above 3 and I for 3.2, 3.3.
Yep.
It was the first time in a long time that you and I were talking about price reductions with our clients, getting people to price it correctly, because homes were sitting on the market, not in every market, but
Yep.
in many markets. But then go back to 2018 when rates went almost to 5%. And I remember being at the summit in this room with people all over the world, and rates hit 5, and agents were freaking out. And more importantly, buyers were freaking out because they went from historic lows to the rates all the way up to 5. It did slow down the market. So what we're trying to do is prepare people. Look, this isn't a fear tactic. This is called, I'm an educator. This is what the feds are saying.
This is
what
reality.
would you like to do? What would you like to do? So is there a close or a piece of dialogue you found to be most effective to help that person that is motivated, is educated, wants to move forward, but maybe just has a little uncertainty about putting it on the market now?
To me, I'm a big fan of going to the net sheet and figuring out what they're going to walk away with. And if they can maybe have a haircut, or maybe if they're okay with the value now, or maybe a little bit lower, to me, I'm a big fan of numbers. Numbers tell the story, and just really, is this what you want to net from the sale of your house? Maybe if they're selling to buy their next house, it could affect that as well. So I don't know that there's like this close as much as it is just having it. To some degree, we're real estate financial planners right now with them, thinking ahead. And I just want everybody to realize, like, this is an opportunity. Most of my experienced agents, they're like, hooray, I want rates to go up because I know how to navigate this market. And for those agents that haven't been in this before, it's just be aware of this. Recognize that you're probably right, Tom. There are going to be some more price reductions. And what does that lead to? More expireds that are going to be happening. These FSBOs won't be selling like hotcakes. And every opportunity, presents something that can benefit you to some degree, as long as you change the dialogue when you're talking to sellers.
So let's do a little role play. So Jeff, we really would like to sell between spring and summer, right? Thinking about our kids and, making that transition and move. But I am a little bit concerned if the rates, start to go up, as you mentioned, as the Fed said, in spring and in summer. Right. But is it really going to impact us? I mean, I live in this beautiful community.
Totally
get it. There's only been one home on the market in the last 4 months.
Yeah.
I think I was told it had like 10 offers, and our house, Jeff, is so much nicer than that one.
Totally understand.
I just don't think the interest rates are going to impact the sale of my home.
So let me ask you this. What's important about waiting?
Look, I don't want to make multiple moves. I don't want to disrupt my kids. Like, they're finally back in school and we're creating some level of normalcy, but we are moving from Texas to Boise. And I just, I'm thinking about them. I'm thinking about this one moment in their life where I can have some normalcy, and why throw another wrench at them?
Totally understand. Let me ask you, Tom, if we could get it under contract in like maybe March, April, May, and you get your money, and I will negotiate a rent back for 3, 6, 9 months. It's really just a matter of timing. And the timing can be a big issue. Why? Who knows what rates are going to be? I don't have a crystal ball, but they are saying they're going to go up. And we know that when rates go up, your values go down to some degree. So would you be interested in getting it under contract and not having to move until, we could maybe even work it out October, November, December. How does that sound?
I mean, it almost sounds a little too good to be true. So I could cash out, stay in the house, pay some form of rent. I'd have to run that past my wife.
Hey, Tom, I feel like if you're a homeowner right now, you've won the lottery. It is too good to be true. Okay. In this type of market, you can dictate whatever terms you want, and that will be easily negotiated. Get it under contract, have your money. You're a stronger buyer when you go to Idaho, when you have your money. Wouldn't you rather have that cash in the bank and have it on your timing instead of having to rush or have that uncertainty about what the values will be in October, November, December?
Man, I love role playing with you. That was really good.
That was pretty good. I was really testing myself on that one.
All right. So again, hey, the goal of this show is to just give you snackable, bite-sized pieces of content, things that you can say and things you could do, a mindset and a perspective that ultimately is going to give you more confidence So you have greater conversion because that's what sales is all about. So
That's it.
Jeff, thank you so much for being a part of the show. We
Awesome.
look forward to having you again
Appreciate it,
soon,
guys.
partner. Take
Get out
care.
there. Make calls.